Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. Today's episode is a mirror. One you may not expect, but one you might need. Because sometimes the truth about how far we've come, or how far we still have to go, shows up not in what we believe, but in how we react. Let's be honest. Most of us have had moments when someone said something that rubbed us the wrong way. Maybe they challenged us, ignored us, or reminded us of something we haven't dealt with yet. And before we even realize it, we're already reacting. Defensive, irritated, sarcastic, withdrawn. But what if those moments aren't about them? What if our reactions are revealing the places where our love has not yet reached? It's easy to point to someone else's behavior and say, that made me upset. But the more I've lived this journey of love and self-awareness, the more I've come to see that every emotional reaction is an opportunity, a signal, a mirror. Not of their character, but of our wounds. You know, love doesn't flinch, but we do. Oh, yes, we do. When we are healed, whole, and grounded in love, we don't flinch as much. We don't get defensive when someone challenges us. We don't lash out when someone makes a mistake. And we don't bristle when someone offers feedback. Because love doesn't flinch. Ego does. So if I flinch, if I react with anger, impatience, or sarcasm, I've learned what to do. You stop and you ask, what thread is this pulling on inside me? What pain hasn't been fully held yet? What fear am I protecting? What truth am I avoiding? I mean, because that's where the clue comes in. It's not always easy. In fact, it takes more courage to look in the mirror than it does to blame someone else. But it's in those moments that we actually grow. And the things I've seen in my mirror should be all of us. I remember a conversation where I got unexpectedly frustrated with someone I care about. It wasn't what they said. It was the way it made me feel. I felt dismissed, even though they had not intended that. And I realized something. They weren't actually dismissing me. It's true. I was dismissing myself. I hadn't given myself permission to speak my full truth. And when they didn't make space for it, I was angry because I hadn't made space for it either. That moment became a gift, not because it was comfortable, but because it pointed to something in me that needed love, not from them, but from me. These are the things you don't think about, guys. How many of our conflicts are cold silences? Our wounded pride come from something unspoken inside of us. Something that we're afraid to feel. If we're always reacting, we're not free. We're being ruled by ghosts, by memories, by messages we've internalized, by stories that no longer serve us. But if we pause, if we breathe, if we look at our reaction and say, what's this really about? We get our power back. We stop blaming the world for our pain and start healing the parts of ourselves that have been waiting to be seen. We become people who don't just preach love, but practice it, even when it's hard, even when we're hurt, and even when it would be easier to run. Today's episode is not about shaming ourselves for reacting. It's about noticing. It's about realizing that our reactions aren't flaws. They're invitations. They say, come look here. There's something sacred that needs tending. So, the next time someone says something that makes your chest tighten, or your jaw clench, or your voice rise, pause. Not to judge yourself, but to get curious. To ask, is this coming from fear or love? That one question, guys, that one question that we always go back to, it has saved me from saying things I'd regret. It's helped me recognize when I'm carrying old pain into new conversations. It's helped me become a better friend, a more grounded man, a more honest soul. And it's helped me extend the same grace to others. Because if I'm still growing, then so are they. Keep that in mind. The mirror of your reactions isn't always flattering, but it's always faithful. It shows you where the work is. It shows you where love is still waiting to bloom. And maybe that's the most powerful thing that we can do in a divided, angry, reactionary world. You know, become the kind of people who respond with compassion instead of reacting from pain. Because when we do that, we don't just change ourselves. We change the atmosphere around us. Keep walking, guys. Keep noticing. Keep loving. Because love doesn't just fix what's broken. It reflects what's possible. I love you guys very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators. Later, Gators. Bye.